Greetings, humans. Welcome to Multiverse Live, the reunion episode you didn't know you needed. Tonight, we've got two heavy hitters in the house. First, Josh the Ancient, the TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube decoder of America's deepest mysteries, live and unfiltered. We've also got our returning legend, Chris Cottrell, three-time Cosmic Summit speaker, and now, fresh off the press, author of The Enigma of the CarolinaBays. Hold that bad boy up, Chris. We're kicking it off with a reel of Josh's wildest shorts, teasing the mind-bending secrets inside Chris's new book, and dropping 3i Atlas updates that'll make your timeline glitch. And also, the community's buzzing. Raul of Pillars of the Past is literally knee-deep in Peruvian dirt, unearthing discoveries so insane they're breaking the internet. Plus, hold up, did NASA just detect a wall of fire at the edge of the solar system? We've got the clip, the context, and the cosmic freakout. Lastly, a surprise drop. Hugh Newman of Megalithomania joined the multiverse. You won't believe what he discovered at Karahan Tepe. So lock your gravity boots, ignite the quantum thrusters. Multiverse is punching you through the event horizon. And guys, did you see that? Like the stuff that Raul's doing right now? It's so crazy.
It's incredible.
Oh yeah. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, he was on the show a few weeks ago, right? And he did we did a little promo, we did a little ticket giveaway. He was trying to get extra money so he could extend his trip. And like every day he's posting crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Just today,
like yesterday. Yeah. I mean, he was drenched in sweat. He was, he must have just been trekking through the jungle or something. But I got to get caught up because I know there's some cool stuff coming out of South America right now.
Yeah, I saw something today he posted. He's like crawling through tunnels and stuff. Little crevices. Crazy. Yeah.
That's why I said, dude, be careful.
What are you doing, there's that story of those kids in Cusco that they went and they went to the tunnels and they couldn't find their way out. And I think like one of their friends got out. And then, I'm not sure what happened to the other two. I think they didn't get out in time.
Well, I appreciate his enthusiasm and like his adventurous spirit, but dang, that looked dangerous. Did you see any of that, Mike?
I did, and I think it was really cool to like see Raul at Cosmic Summit, and I can see him on stage again there next time. I really can.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, with the stuff he's coming back with, for sure. He's found literally unregistered stuff. In the last 2 weeks. I mean, that's insane.
That megalithic site, right? Yeah, that one is crazy.
Yeah.
You'll find some unmarked places, but they're kind of like small stones or like thatched roofs, things like that. And then but I think he said this is the first megalithic site that he's found that's not like documented anywhere really. Besides the locals, they obviously know where everything's at, but
right. They're like, oh yeah, that's been there since the dawn of time. But like, it's wild, man. It's super exciting, but first, this is Josh's second time on the show. The first time he joined us directly after the Cosmic Summit to do a little Cosmic Summit recap, but now we're kind of bringing him on for his feature appearance on the show. Josh is a TikToker and an Instagrammer and a YouTuber who specializes in Mesoamerican mythology and things like that. Josh, why don't you tell the Multiverse how you kind of got, when did you first start getting interested in these topics? Like, was there like something that sparked you or what?
Yeah, I think it was maybe like 2-3 years ago. Well, I always had an interest. I was asking myself the same question not too long ago. So I went through my pictures on my phone to see, like, when's the first time I downloaded something that has to do with like any of this. And I think it was like around 2020, I found a picture of the 12-sided stone from Peru. But then I took a screenshot and then I never even looked back at it. So, it was always there in the back of my mind. And then what really got me into history was like these like existential questions about like religion and spirituality. And I first started by reading the Bible actually, and seeing like converging viewpoints, people like thinking away from the mainstream, I guess, and certain translations that they don't agree with that could change almost like the entire understanding of a story. So yeah, but that led me into history, learning that all these ancient cultures have a lot of the myths that sound the same as the ones in the Bible. Some of them are a lot older. So it kind of I don't think it pulls away from the Bible really, but I think that they like how do I say this? That there's some truth to it. If there's multiple people saying, the same thing, separated by time and space. Like for the Sumerians, they say their god. What was it? I think it's like Enki. He comes out of the water, and in the beginning of creation, he comes out of the Apsu, like this sea water, something like that, salty water. And way across the way in the Inca culture, we have Yurikosha. And after a flood, he rises out of Lake Titicaca and he brings civilization. Or in the Bible, you have the spirit of God hovering over the water in the beginning of time when there was nothing and the earth was formless, So it's just crazy that somehow they all come to these same conclusions. And there has to be some truth somewhere, It's just trying to figure out exactly what they're all saying is very complicated. But yeah, that led me into history and all the nuance in it. Now I just love anything beyond my time, really. I like to go see like vintage houses and stuff. Like I took a tour of this house over here in a city called Redlands in California, and it's like this mansion like 100 years old, and even that's cool. Just anything beyond my time now I find interesting.
Yeah, I get that feel. I get that feeling. Even just going to the UK, you know that everything's like 1,000 years older than in the United States or longer, right? And it's like I get that. I get that, man. And so when did you first start? Like, when did you go? I'm gonna make a TikTok. I'm gonna make TikToks and Instagrams. Like, how did that happen?
Oh, this was after Cosmic Summit 2024. That's when I went there, and yeah, because I always I didn't really have nobody to talk to about this type of stuff. Like I could tell people that I know, but they're not really interested. So yeah, I went 2024. I won tickets to Cosmic Summit. So there was a radio station, and they were giving away tickets. After they were going to interview Robert Schoch, and it was like some small radio station out of North Carolina, out of Winston-Salem, to be specific, and I found a Facebook post that said we're giving away a ticket after we interview Robert Schoch, and it had one like. This comment only had one like. One like, so I knew nobody was really gonna be on there, unless they knew. So I called with like 2 different cell phones. One of them rang. I answered, and I won like an $850 ticket to Cosmic Summit. That was really cool. I went there and I met Mike and Dave, and yeah, I was just talking to people, and you realize you're sharing information with people, and people are like kind of interested in what you're saying, and you're like, oh, maybe I could do this too. Like I do have some spare time on my hands, and maybe that way I could have some people to talk to, like build some sort of community, be a part of the community rather than just like on the outskirts, just watching videos all day, type of thing.
Yeah, that's actually where I met Josh. Was I think it was the very last day. He was all packed up, ready to go home.
Yeah.
And I just happened to walk up, sit down at the table. I try not to anchor myself at one place during the Cosmic Summit. I try to move around, and and I'm pretty sure it was the last day. You say it all the way through the
classrooms, the
classroom days, right? And it was like the last couple hours of the classroom day, and Josh was all packed up, and then we just sat down. It was this cup right here.
Oh wow, yeah.
And,
oh, that's funny.
I brought up the cup because I didn't get one. You know, I was the speaker at Cosmic Summit, and I was like, man, that's a cool cup. I sure wish I had one of those.
You got to win the radio station contest, Chris.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I won the whole ticket. I won the whole experience. Like,
Yeah.
The least of it.
Yeah. So Josh, actually, before we actually had a really good conversation. I was really, you know, kind of stoked about his story about of getting there, right? You know, coming from California, I think I know there was people that were there from further distances in California, but you know, Josh is a young guy. You know, he showed up with a backpack. You know, I don't even know where you stayed for the weekend.
Yeah, I didn't even stay at the hotel. I had to stay at a cheaper hotel down the way the first year.
Yeah. So he was sitting there with his backpack and carrying this cup around, and we had a really good conversation. And I do remember telling him, you know, he brought up the fact that he hadn't started producing any videos yet, but he was really into this stuff, and that's what got him here. And I just remember telling him, I was like, Josh, man, you just got to start. You hit the go button, you know, just start making videos. And I swear it wasn't maybe 2 months later, his first video dropped, and I was like, oh man, I love that dude.
That's so cool.
Happy to see that.
Yeah. Chris was the first person I told, actually, I think, that I even had the idea of making these videos. I was just sitting there thinking of it the whole weekend, and I think he's one of the only people that I really had like a longer conversation with as well. Everybody was kind of just chit chat. Mike and Dave too. I hung out with them for like a day, but even then we just kind of talked a little, you know. And it wasn't until 2025 when I saw Mike and Dave again that we actually had spent more time together.
Right. Yeah. And I was actually super happy too. It was 2025. I was standing in line waiting to get my own credentials. And I hear somebody from behind me going, "Hey, what's up, man?" And I turn around as Josh, and man, my smile. I don't know if you can see it, but I was so happy to see you.
Yeah.
I was like, and I had told it was. I don't remember if I told these guys or if it was somebody else, but you know, they asked me one of the things that I was looking forward to the most, and I told them it was the people. You know, it was the people that you meet, the conversations that you have. And it was actually Josh that I had in my mind when I was telling them that story. And I think I even brought him up. I may have mentioned him by name. So I was super stoked to see you at 2025, and hope it's an annual thing. So
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I'll get caught up. But yeah, so cheers.
Yeah, cheers to the Cosmic Summit. I did not know that you were the one who was like, I mean, he had been thinking about it, but you were the one who pushed him off the cliff to make his first video. That's so cool.
Yeah. Because that's, I mean, really, you guys did the same thing, right? You had these ideas, and sometimes it's just you got to hit go, and then just do the first one. You know, and actually, when you were doing your introduction today, I was like, man, they've come a long way. You know?
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool watching the whole countdown in the intro.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because Mike and I met at 2024 as well, right? Mike, was it 24? Yeah. And then like everyone probably knows the story by now, but we like I messaged him like 3 months later, like, "Hey, you want to start a crappy podcast?" He was like, "Sure." And it was crappy at first, but I like it. In fact, like on veteran, our first interview was with a veteran friend of mine, a Marine Corps veteran who like served in the initial invasion, quote unquote, of Iraq.
Right,
and so he came on and he told our story. He told his story, and so I played that with a couple other veterans we talked to for Veterans Day, and it was just fun. Like as a live stream, you know, I back to back them. It was just funny to see like what a podcast used to look like to how it looks like now.
Yeah.
I wanted to show some of a couple of videos or a couple of clips that Josh sent me, but I did want to make a comment, and like, because this is really important in this community, right? Because right now we've got, you know, the OGs, you know, your Robert Shocks, your Graham Hancocks, and they're kind of passing a baton down to, you know, Michael Collins, Wandering Wolf, that kind of thing, right? And then in turn, like those people are starting to pass that baton down to younger people like Josh, and like I like to consider Mike and I part of that as well. And I just want to say how important that is, because younger people can connect with younger audiences when it comes to these important topics. So the way Josh does this on using TikTok, which I don't even know what this is going to be my first time playing a TikTok video. I'm going to be honest. But you know, that's helpful, right? Because then it gets more eyes on it, more people into these subjects, right, Mike?
That's right. Speaking of TikTok, we allegedly have a TikTok, and as Dave alluded to, I've never logged into it myself.
No.
So big shout out to Brittany,
allegedly,
manager, who has made a TikTok at some point and
we
several videos to this.
We have about 10 or so videos on that TikTok as well. So, did you want
to? Brittany wanted to hop in on the live stream tonight, but she was busy with the family at home, so she couldn't make it. But she says hello to everyone and hello to the multiverse.
Hey, Brittany, if you're watching.
Hey, Brittany, how's it going?
Did you want to do, Josh, the? I'm looking at. Let's do the Instagram one first. I'll share screen. This was your first ever 10K Instagram video, correct?
Yeah, I was reaching 10K and it kind of stunted, and then incredible history. Will Brown, he actually put me on his story, and he said, yeah, it's like everybody go follow Josh. He makes cool videos about the ancient Americas, and it boosted it over 10K. So yeah, that was really cool. It was almost there though, but yeah. Shout out Will Brown. He's a cool guy, man. He's a cool guy.
He is, and he's going to be at Quest for Ancient Civilization conference in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah,
we're going to be talking about soon. So we're excited to
him there. Yeah.
Yep, he's going to be speaking and meeting and all that stuff. So let me see if I can play this. Let's see if this works. I literally don't know how to work Instagram. That's what Brittany's for.
When the Spanish first reached the Aztec capital city, they couldn't believe their eyes. After landing off the coast of Veracruz in 1519, months of hiking through mountains and valleys had finally brought them here. As they emerged from the highlands and looked down from the hills, there it was, Tenochtitlan, a floating city in the middle of a lake, glowing white in the sun. Towering pyramids, palaces, and causeways that stretched across the water, all made of stone. A city 5 times the size of Seville, Spain, where the conquistadors had came from. Sitting in the middle of a lake, Bernal Diaz del Castillo wrote that some of the soldiers even thought that they were dreaming. When we saw so many towns and villages built on the water and other large settlements on dry land, and that straight and level causeway that led to Mexico, we were amazed and said it was like the enchantments told in the legend of Amadis, because of the great towers and temples and buildings rising from the water, all made of stone. Indeed, some of our soldiers asked whether or not it was all a dream. He compared it to Amadis de Guala, a famous Spanish fantastical tale of knights and enchanted islands. But this was real, right in front of them, an impossible city, straight out of myth. But what had seemed like a vision from a myth would be torn apart and reduced to rubble in just 2 years, conquered by the very same men who had called it unbelievable. This would be the beginning of the conquest of Mexico. When the
I think that's really good. You got a great voice for this, Josh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys agree.
Yeah. I think everybody, when they hear themselves, they don't think so. But I've had like my cousin tell me like, "Oh, you have a good voice for this," and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't think so at all." It's always weird hearing yourself, even seeing yourself. It was so awkward in the beginning trying to just even look directly into the camera, like my eyes are wandering. But you just get used to it after a while. Yeah, you gotta get over the camera shyness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for me to
stop. You have to stop caring so much a little bit. Yeah, you just have to record yourself, how it sounds, and yeah, people like it, I guess.
It's hard for me to even like edit our videos, and I do a lot of it. I'm like, why did you say that, or how? You know, but it is what it is.
Cringing at yourself always, yeah.
we're our own biggest critics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that video, you said, when did you put that out? And then you said Will Brown shared it?
Yeah, Will Brown shared it. I'm not sure exactly how old it is. Can't be more than a few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. And so tell us about your process. Like, how do you decide on like what do you make a video on? Just something hits you, you get articles, you do research, are you looking on YouTube, or how do you pick a topic?
Throughout the day, well, I mean, my mind is always on so much that I used to like have these ideas like, oh, I'm gonna make a video about that, and then when it came time to make the video, I would forget all my ideas. So now I have notes on my iPhone, so every time I anything pops in my head like, oh, that's a good idea, I'll pull it out and I just type something, that to help me remind myself. So I have like a big list, and then I go through it and I just kind of choose one sometimes, like oh yeah, that's a good idea, So that one, how did I come about that one? It was the I learned somehow a while ago. I can't even remember where, but I know I just, it came to my mind, so I wrote it in my iPhone at one point that the Spanish actually thought that they were dreaming when they first arrived to the city. So they get there, and his name is Bernal Diaz del Castillo. He was a foot soldier as well, and he says that when they come upon the city, they see it. It looks like it's floating. It's not really floating. It's like built on these things called chinampas. They're basically like logs placed in the lake, and they fill them with like muck, mud, and they raise the beds, and they basically created like a city on the water. So when they see that the soldiers ask, their higher ranking soldiers, like, is this all a dream? Like, is this real? Like, they couldn't believe it almost. It's crazy just to think about. And when you read it, it doesn't sound as interesting like that, but you kind of have to put yourself there and, pull on some emotions of your own to get the right words out to make it interesting to everybody, right? That's kind of the main goal, is to make it interesting for everybody, for it to be engaging and, captivating, because a lot of people aren't just interested in history for fun, but a video like that can get them interested, if they hear that and they're like, oh, that's cool. Like, I never thought of it that way, or I didn't know that, it's, I always try to make them engaging though, for people that aren't even interested in history.
I could see, based on their context, asking that as a legit question, like, is this a dream, right? Because they'd never seen anything like that. So
yeah, and then they also, like I was saying in the video, they compared it to that book. It's like this fantasy novel that they had about this. It's like a love story, and this guy has to go to some enchanted island, and there's like castles on it. So they literally felt like they were in this it's like us feeling like we're in, I don't know, Lord of the Rings or something, like.
Yeah, no, that's a good like comparison.
That,
yeah. Josh, are you fluent in Spanish?
I was gonna.
No, I'm not fluent, but I can get by. I can order my food. I can ask how to get where I need to go. I can get to the pyramids and I can get my food. That's all I really need.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that people like about your videos right now is it does provide some authenticity to it, because you do have the accent, you do have the lingo.
Yeah, I try to pronounce things correctly. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially with the native words, like the Aztec words, the Nahuatl words, they're kind of hard to say. The TL gets people confused. Even me, sometimes I forget to pronounce it correctly in my videos, but I try. And some people show appreciation in the comments, like, oh, I like that you pronounced it correctly, or some people still trying to correct me, but there's always going to be those people.
So, have you? You're a young guy, so I'm assuming later down the road you're going to do a lot more traveling. But have you had a chance to travel to any of these sites in Mexico yet?
Yeah. So when I first, when was this? This was maybe like 2 years after I first got into history. A year into that, I learned about Teotihuacan. That's like 45 minutes northeast of Mexico City, pretty close. And I just heard that they called them these great pyramids of Mexico. I kept hearing it. Looked it up, and it's a pyramid. There's 3 pyramids actually. It's a whole city. It's huge. It's almost the same base. When I first heard this, somebody told me it's the same base as Giza and exactly half the height, but that's not exactly correct. But it is kind of close. It's like around the same size base, and it is about half the height. But mind you, it is like a reconstruction. Most of these sites, when they find them, they're like falling apart. And the guy who did this, I believe he didn't have too much. He didn't have enough time, so he kind of reconstructed it. I think like in a 10-year span or something. And when they got to the top, they ran out of material. It was probably not that accurate, but so they kind of just chopped it flat at the top, something like that. He created like a terrace on the top. I remember hearing something about this. I think it was Ed Barnhart. I think he was talking about this. Yeah, they ran out of material. He was kind of rushed, and but so I don't know how close the dimensions are, but it was just interesting. And I heard that there was like some sort of underground cave underneath too, and that reminded me of Giza being the they have the subterranean chamber as well. So I told my dad, and I was like, hey, I was kind of joking. I was like, hey, let's go to the pyramids in Mexico. I was like, have you ever been to Mexico City? He's like, no, I haven't. And then I told him, let's go to the pyramids, and he's like, you know what, call your aunt. She's good at like planning stuff like this. See what she says. And 2 days later, she sends me a whole itinerary. And it was like, I remember there was a tour for Egypt that's why I had wanted to go. I saw a tour for Egypt, and it was like $8,000, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can't do that. So
Next time.
yeah, my aunt made this whole itinerary. We went with like it was me. I went with my parents, my girlfriend, and my aunt and my uncle. So there were 7 of us. And for our flights and our hotels, so we stayed in near Teotihuacan for 2 days, and then in Mexico City for another 3 days. And our flights and hotels were like $600. So I was like, compared to $8,000, I paid $600. I got to see the great. Yeah, I went to Teotihuacan. They have when you enter, you see the Pyramid of the Sun. That's the main one. So it's like at the top. A lot of people think that's the Pyramid of the Sun because it's at the top. I don't know if you could like bring up a picture or something, maybe.
Yeah, let me find it.
Yeah, it's like at the top, it's a Pyramid of the Moon. And it has the same alignment. It looks like it has the same Orion alignment as Giza. It's crazy. There's just similarities, you know. It's not exact, but they're pretty close to draw some interest, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good picture. Yeah, this one's always fascinated me too. I definitely fell for the whole like it's the same base. You know, I think I saw that. I think we all saw that episode of Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
But it is pretty close. And which is weird.
Yeah.
And like it does kind of look like a, I don't know, when you look at it from the top. I'm trying to find a good picture, but I'm struggling. I'm trying to find an overhead picture, but it does kind of look like a circuit board. Have you ever heard of that one?
Yeah, I've seen that one as well. Yeah,
I don't know exactly.
And then a lot of people compare the Avenue of the Dead to like the Vatican's design as well in their center plaza. That one too, I think it's a little bit of a reach, but yeah, I think just the fact that it's close to the same dimensions, and it's the same type of structure, and you know, there being a cave underneath the same. They're just something is there. Again, this kind of draws into the same thing I was saying earlier about their mythology, how, you know, they come to the same conclusions. And in this same way, it's like, how do people separated by time and space decide to build the same structures always, or very similar? And again, it has that Orion constellation, so it has like the 2 pyramids, and then it has one in the top just off center, so they're not exactly in a line.
Yeah, it does have that, the Orion correlation, and that's super weird, right? Like we're talking supposedly a couple thousand years in time, a totally different continent across oceans, and this is very similar complex. But what bums me out a bit about that, so you mentioned it, none of these sites in Mexico are like, Michael Collins just totally crushed me when he told me that like most of those sites, like 70%, yeah, there you go, good job, Mike, 70% like basically reconstructed, like in what's the one in near
Chichen Itza? I also went to that one in November.
So I was there twice, and I didn't know it was it was basically reconstructed. And then like I was like, it's funny because you see people like like praying and like bowing and stuff and doing their little sun salutations, and 30% of this thing is real, 70% of it's fake, which is wild. Does that bum you guys out, or what do you guys think about that just as a concept? Like, do you think they should leave that stuff as is, or do you think they should, you know, do what they do?
That's a good question. I know.
It's hard.
Was it which one that it was the staircase where if you look at it in a certain light, it's supposed to look like a serpent?
That's Teotihuacan.
That's Chichen Itza.
Or so Chichen Itza. Yeah.
And I heard that was all like reconstructed, like that wasn't probably original. And it's like, oh well, then what's the point?
Well, that's the thing. I walked around for like 10 years thinking that was true, and then I walked away from there going, "Oh, come on."
Ed Barnhart was on Matt Beal Limitless, and they were talking about this specific thing, and
that might be where I heard it. Yeah,
he brings up the point, like, so if it's reconstructed, then how accurate is that? You know, the undulating serpent coming down the steps.
Exactly.
Right.
And he kind of he does make some good points. They bring up some older pictures, and you look, and you could still kind of see all the steps.
Those dots. He was like, wait.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, how would it be aligned? But I mean, the alignment would still be the same. You can see the terraces. And I was thinking if it's reconstructed, maybe the original construction might have even looked more like a serpent, because kind of right now, it kind of like the top is flat, and then the bottom has the curve. I don't know.
Right.
I thought I was trying to play devil's advocate, you know, like I get how he's saying, oh, how do we know it lines up? And I'm like, well, maybe what if it lined up and it looked even better than it does now with our reconstruction?
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was trying to make the point that it would probably still be there, and but he doesn't find it like really extravagant. He says he doesn't even think it might have been on purpose because it's not like there are other alignments at other Maya temples, and they're like pinpoint alignments for like a minute, you know, like a minute only, and it's like a beam of light hitting like the direct corner of a room or something like that, and it'll happen like at a specific time in the day. And here at Chichen Itza, it's like at a random minute of the hour, and it lasts for like 2-3 hours. So it's not really like a pinpoint alignment in his opinion. But yeah, who knows about that one? But it is cool. It's a cool idea.
It's a cool idea, and the site's still pretty incredible. I don't want to like.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's very accessible for people who, you know, if you're not like Raul of Pillars of the Past and you just want to go stay on a resort and then go check out some pyramids. That's honestly the cheapest and best way to do it. Is go fly down to Cancun and you know, take a little tour off your. You know, that's what I did. And then the second time we just drove because it was much easier that way. Did you get to Tulum at all and check that out?
Yeah, so sorry, this is where the question had started, right? So I went to Mexico City. That's the Aztec capital for those who don't know. So yeah, Mexico City is literally the Aztec capital just built over. Oh. So that floating city that I had in that video, now the entire lake is basically dried up, and Mexico City is built in there, but it's built over this lake bed, so it's kind of sinking. Mexico City, it's crazy. When I got there, my driver was telling us there's this statue in this center of this intersection, and it's on these steps, and he said it used to be ground level, but as the city's sinking like around it, they have to keep adding steps. Wow. And it was kind of hard to wrap my head around it. And then when we got in our Airbnb in Mexico, as soon as we get in, it was like a second, third story apartment. I get in and I swear I was like, have I been drinking too much or something? I feel like it's leaning this way a little bit, and there was like this woven ball. It was like a house decor, and I grab it and I put it on the floor, and it literally just rolls to one side of the room. And like you could see people's garages too. Some of them are just like tweaked a little bit, so the entire city's like on unstable ground. Yeah, it's insane.
I need to look into this. I need to look into that. That is insane to me. How is that happening?
It was built. So if you see my video, how it was built on a lake basically. And I don't know if the lake dried. I'm pretty sure it dried up right over time, something like this. And
it's
basically built on unstable land. Yeah, it's built on. Oh yeah, you would probably know a little bit more about this.
Yeah, subsidence, and the area is not allowed to flood anymore because of geoengineering projects, and so there's sediments not being added to that ground anymore. So it's continually sinking slowly, kind of like New Orleans.
That's wild. So it's just funny that it's sinking kind of tilted. Okay, so what video can you tell me? I want to watch the video now.
That was the one we had just seen. The
okay, yeah, all right,
yeah. Cool. What is this, TikTok? Okay, on my Instagram, I have a really short video of it's I kind of like swipe back and forth. Yeah, it's or if you go can go on Google if you want. There's this cool website that I could show you, and it shows you the before and after of Mexico City right there. You see that right under the Purepecha Empire with the comment. I replied to the comment to the left of the Ark of the Covenant, that one right there.
This one.
Yeah, it's just a short video. You could kind of see before and after. I was replying to somebody's story. Interactive 3D
That's cool.
pictures and stuff. Yeah, there's multiple views, and you can see like the before and after. But yeah, it's directly built into the lake. So I got to go there. The main square in Mexico City, as you can see in that short video, is the exact same main square that was used by the Aztecs, where their Templo Mayor is. That just means like the Great Temple, something like that. I went to that museum. That was really cool. I got to see the Aztec calendar. I went to the National Museum of Anthropology. So I saw 2 Olmec heads. That was crazy. I ran into the Toltec statue that has the handbag of the gods. You know, he's one of those. That caught me by surprise. I didn't even know that was there. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, a lot of stuff from all cultures, from Olmec, Aztec, Maya. They all bring it there to Mexico City. So it's like you're going everywhere in one spot. That's a must do when you go to Mexico. You have to see the National Museum of Anthropology.
I will for sure. My wife is from there. I've never been, so it's going to that's going to be one of our next moves. But I thank you for that. So your aunt kind of put together the whole itinerary for this, huh? So shout out to
First
your aunt.
one, yeah. Then when I went to Tulum, I took that one upon myself. I was like, I think I could do this. My girlfriend speaks Spanish actually fluent, so she was doing talking to like if we needed anything, from like she was doing a lot of the talking really when we needed. And I went there by myself. We flew to Tulum, and at first I wanted to go to Chichen Itza, but she really wanted to go to Tulum, so I figured out that there was a bus that goes to Chichen Itza, but it's almost like 3 hours. So we landed first day, went to the bus station, bought my ticket for the next day. So that next day we spent the whole day. We went to Chichen Itza, 3 hours there. We got to spend about like 3, maybe 4 hours there, and then we had to take it back, and we got back by like 8 p.m. So it was an all day thing. It was like the full 12 hours, but that was cool. Yeah. So I went there, and then I also went to the Tulum ruins because I was in Tulum.
Exactly.
My last day.
They're pretty cool too.
Yeah, that coastal city. It's like right off the cliff. The water's as blue.
Yes.
Like oh my god, I took some crazy pictures. The water's like teal. It looks like your guys' background. It's crazy.
It is, and it's like literally the temples or whatever you want to call them, structures are hanging off the cliff basically. Have you ever been down there, Chris?
Mm-mm.
To Tulum?
No, I've been to like Cancun and Cozumel.
Got it. Yeah,
and Tulum one is worth it. The pyramids, so.
You were there for a wedding, the typical like wedding stay on the resort thing, or?
No, I think it was a cruise, and we went deep sea fishing or something. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's always right there. Mike, have you ever went down to Mexico?
No.
Visit the heritage.
I've been across the border briefly from Texas, like on some road trips over summer break growing up, but I've never been down to Cancun or Cozumel, so I've never seen that part.
Josh, we're all going with you next time. We got all three of us.
Right.
You're gonna take us.
Let's do it. We could do it. It's cool. Yeah. Tulum is pretty cool to go to. As long as you're just nowhere you don't need to be. A lot of people think Mexico's scary, but if you go to like these main cities, these tourist areas, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna see a lot of other people from all over the world, and you're gonna see. I saw some like girls by themselves. I'm like, okay, if they're here, then I should be okay.
Yeah, Tulum is very touristy, and to be honest, the people who it's a huge source of ink revenue, so they don't want people scared to go there because then they don't get their cut. You know what I'm saying? So so you sent me another video earlier, and it was I'm trying to find it here. The one Gods in the Sky Part 1.
This was like my first controversial video, I guess you could say.
Could you explain what we're about to see really quick, just like what the inspiration was for it and why you said it was controversial?
So it's this idea of gods, the same thing I was saying earlier, all these cultures coming up with these same stories and mythology separated by time and space, like always. And it's that their gods either lived in, they dwelled in the sky, they moved through the sky, or they came from the sky. Some of them even say that we came from the sky, some like I think it's like the Hopi, right? They have these star people, things like this. Other cultures think that we came from like the Pleiades specifically. And I just kind of tie it into this whole UAP vision type thing, because when you read the Bible, there's a lot of things in the sky. And I think just some people haven't heard of these stories. Like one that I mentioned is I think it's Prophet Ezekiel, right? The second one. Metal object in the sky and multiple beings inside of it. And these beings aren't God, so they're something else, because there's multiple of them, and they're actually called cherubim, which we translate as angels, but it's not really what they are. It's kind of confusing what they are, but he describes them that they said they look like in form, but they have like multiple faces of different animals, like multiple limbs of different animals, and it really looks like some sort of psychedelic vision. But there's also this idea going around that people that have encounters with like UFOs, like Rick Strassman, he wrote DSP, the Spirit Molecule. was on Joe Rogan, I think, on his last appearance, and he talks about how he thinks that encounters with like these alien beings sometimes are like endogenous releases of DMT. So they just like spontaneously getting DMT visions, and I thought that kind of tied it together for me to make this video. That you know, maybe because there is a lot of psychedelic things going on in the Bible. If you read it, it's like they don't make sense to maybe the layman, but if maybe like to one of us, if we read it, we'll understand a little bit of what's going on. You know, not really understand, but we know that there's something else going on than just a normal vision. You know.
2 books related to what you're talking about: Spaceships of Ezekiel by Joseph Blumberg, who was a chief engineer at NASA 50 years ago, and then John D. Allegro, The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross, which is based off the Dead Sea Scrolls. On topic, anyhow.
Yeah, and I think it's not off topic because you know, these as much as I hate to admit it, these topics overlap, which is why we created Mike and Dave's Multiverse. I mean, the problem is like you don't want them to overlap too far because then you get into woo-woo cuckoo's zone, right? But like the reality is that
this was almost there with this video.
our ancestors were very, very aware of the sky, obviously, and they drew about it, they wrote about it, they talked about visitors, and we don't know in what exact context that was or what perspective they were exactly coming from, but they're doing the same shit we do now. So let's go ahead and play the video and then go from there. This is on there. Yeah. And this is how we tie Josh the Ancients into Mike and Dave's Multiverse in our next topic, 3-Eye Atlas.
Many ancient cultures all say the same thing, that the gods were seen in the sky above them. When we strip away religion from these stories, all that remains are mysterious objects and beings descending from the sky. In the Bible, Prophet Elijah is taken up in the sky by the spirit of God Yahweh. The word translated as spirit is ruach. Some scholars argue that we don't know the true meaning of the word, but in these stories, it behaves like some sort of transportation. Quote, suddenly a chariot of fire appeared, and Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind. Witnesses to the event then decided to search for Elijah and said, quote, perhaps the Ruach of the Lord has picked him up and set him down on some mountain or in some valley. This shows that they might have understood the Ruach as something that could rise and transport somebody, possibly high on top of a mountain. In Prophet Ezekiel's vision, he sees a metal object in the sky with multiple beings actually inside of it. Quote, I looked and I saw a windstorm coming from the north, an immense cloud with fire flashing and surrounded by brilliant light. The center of the fire looked like glowing metal, and in the fire is what looked like 4 living creatures. The creatures sped back and forth like flashes of lightning. With religion in the foreground, the ancients were possibly describing what they actually saw, which sounds like something and someone moving through the sky beyond their understanding. And today more than ever, there are still mysterious objects in the sky that defy our understanding. So still the strange visions in the sky continue, reminding us of how little we may actually know. I'm Josh the Ancient, and if you like ancient mysteries, please like and follow for more.
And that's why you're a perfect guest for Mike and Dave's Multiverse, because we blur these lines all the time. So what was your feedback on that one? Did you you said it was controversial. Did you get any weird feedback?
Yeah, I think just sometimes anytime you mention the Bible, it's hard for those videos to grab more views. That was off the bat what I thought. And then I just had some people interested. One of my cousins commented that, never really said anything. She was just like crazy. And I like just kind of opening the eyes of people that not really trying to convince them of this, but just giving them something that they might have not heard before, like a different perspective. Like me, I don't completely 100% believe that there was UFOs in the Bible, but when you look at it through a certain perspective with an open mind, it can make sense, like I understand why people would think that. And I'm not mad at it either. We don't know. We have no clue really. So it's one example. I mean, it's like one answer, it adds to the pot, I guess.
I'm glad you said that too, that you're not mad, because I think what ends up happening is if you make a video like that, people get offended, and you're not saying, you even said when you first joined the show today, you don't you don't think these things take anything away from the Bible at all, how these things blur the lines, or maybe we were off on the timelines or anything, right? And that's important to point out, just because you think the timeline is off or we're missing some connections doesn't mean that you're like saying, yeah, your religion sucks, you know?
Yeah.
But that one right there is like, I always think about that because there's so many weird situations, both modern and past, that they're just unexplained. Like that one in Germany, the Hamburg, Germany one. You see that one? It's like literally a space battle above Hamburg, Germany. You ever seen that?
No, I haven't seen that one. No.
You need to make a video about that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I want to reiterate something that Dave just said because it just sunk in, and I want to be sure that everyone's clear about this. Just because you start entertaining alternative perspectives, if you start reading opinions and hypotheses by other people that are, speculation is hopefully based in fact, it doesn't mean you're throwing everything out that you've ever heard from other people. It doesn't mean that you're just following this one person, because this is not a game of identifying that one author or sect or leader who has all the right answers. I talk with a lot of people, or try to, about these type of topics, and it often hurriedly goes into this territory of like, well, they can't figure out what side that I'm on, and they just want to revert to their side and reassure me that their side was the right one the whole time. And it's like, no, I'm not trying to overthrow your side. I'm trying to say there's a whole bunch of sides to this coin, and we need to start paying attention to all of them and thinking critically about it while we do it. So, thanks.
I agree, and I'm glad you said that. And I'm going to, and that goes for rhymes with, we promised we'd never talk about this on this show, so it rhymes with politics. It goes for that too, people. It goes with literally everything. There's gray area on everything, people. Stop joining teams and sides and just open your damn mind. Okay. Got it out of my head. All right. You're welcome. So TikTok, and you're doing YouTube as well, right? You're putting your videos, TikToks on YouTube, making shorts.
Yeah, shorts. I do have one. I've been lagging on it, honestly. It's I went to this, so I found a map of ancient sites in my city, and I found I ended up finding some things. Actually, I think I talked about this last time I was on the show. I found this map from 2006 of the city that I live in. It's Moreno Valley in Southern California, and it was like prehistoric sites of importance, something like this. It was like a cultural resources paper, and there's a map, and it looks like somebody, like I said last time, somebody circled like half of a mountain with a Sharpie marker, and there's like a brief small paragraph description of like, oh, south of the peak you might be able to find these, what are they called, mortars, bedrock mortars. So they're like areas that people would process food into these, bedrock, into like bedrock outcroppings and create depressions. In Spanish, they're called like molcajetes. They make them out of lava stones to make like salsas and stuff like that. I found some of those, and then there's supposed to be some pictographs, petroglyphs. I couldn't find any. And there's also lithic scatters, but I went during the I went a few months ago, so everything was like overgrown. I should have waited till the winter. I'm gonna try to go maybe in a month again, and hopefully everything like lower, died down, dried off, dormant, whatever, so I can maybe find some of these lithic scatters. They're supposed to be like stone projectiles in different areas. But yeah, I went there. I hiked for like 8 miles for like 3 hours. It was like almost 90 degrees outside by the time I left. And yeah, so I have a YouTube video that I'm editing now. It's just, man, sometimes it takes like an hour to make these little reels. So to make like a 30-minute video, it takes some time.
Oh, trust me, man, and it hurts my ADHD. Just like, trust me, editing is like, because you have to be very precise. You got to make sure that you're lining everything up. And then I spent like 8 hours editing my Hugh Newman video yesterday, and by the time I finally dropped it, I forgot the damn W in his name on the thumbnail. I posted it everywhere, and I was like, ah! I almost had a panic attack. It said Neiman. And what's even worse is I made another thumbnail for a clip of his like 3 weeks ago that spelt it Newmen, E-N, instead of N. And I'm like, I shouldn't be allowed to do this. But anyway, I digress. I did want to show, now that we mentioned to you, he appeared on the Multiverse. We dropped the episode yesterday. He was gracious enough to sit down and talk to us for about 45 minutes, and he talked about some wild stuff, including super solstice alignments. So not just like Göbekli Tepe or Karahan Tepe type alignments, but some that may even push back 40 to 100,000 years old. I'll let him say it. Just give me one sec while I pull it. But have you guys watched much Megalithomania? I just love that channel.
Yeah. He was one of the main ones I was excited to meet in Cosmic Summit 2024, and actually did get to meet him. I bought his Göbekli Tepe book and Stone Circles, those 2 little mini books that he was selling. He autographed them for me, and we took a picture. But yeah, that was really cool.
And he's one of those guys too that, like, what you see is what you get. Like when you meet him in person, it's like that's exactly what I expected. That's awesome.
I agree. We didn't get to talk to him much at Cosmic Summit, but when we talked to him on the show, it's like, nobody likes this stuff more than him. I tell you what, he spends. This is like he lives and sleeps and breathes this stuff. But this is him talking about the super solstice alignments. Let me go ahead and give it a play here.
Oh yeah, he's been doing this for a long time.
This blows my mind. Okay, but here, check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm going to be talking about the winter solstice, because that's going to be within 2 or 3 weeks of the conference itself. The reason being is because I've been doing digging deep into that, because myself and JJ Ainsworth, my partner, we discovered this remarkable winter solstice phenomenon at Karahan Tepe, 11,400-year-old site in southeast Turkey, not far from Göbekli Tepe, and we just discovered it almost by chance. It was one of them weird series of synchronicities and things like that got us to this point to see it, to witness it, and it kind of blew on.
I'm just pausing it quick because you can literally see the light pointing directly onto the that head that pops out there. It's just wild.
Minds, because this is like billions to one chance of it being a kind of coincidence. And the whole face, this megalithic head that's sticking out, there's what's called structure AB. The light comes through this very thin porthole stone and illuminates the head only on those few days of the winter solstice. Illuminates it like a blade of light moving around, like you get a Chaco Canyon moving across that spiral. It's a similar kind of thing. So we, to witness that and discover that blew our heads off, because that was, it may not, if we hadn't been there, no one else may have ever discovered it. It could be one of those anomalies. So that got us, and that made us really think about, well, these were, to do that, you have to be pretty damn good at solar astronomy and have an understanding, really high understanding before you kind of design that and build that in to the site. Because a lot of it's out of bedrock as well, so they must have incorporated the natural features to do that. But what I found is, for a long time, we thought that was the oldest winter solstice alignment, and then we started digging deeper. And what I'm going to present at the conference is this legacy of super ancient alignments that go back, not just contemporary, several of them contemporary with Karahan Tepe and Göbekli Tepe, but other ones that go even older, going back 40,000 years.
So the Karahan Tepe is not the super old one?
Well, we thought it was. We thought it was for a few years, and then I started digging deeper, and I found all this data that was carried out by anthropologists and French researchers at the Paleolithic caves in France. And I actually I visited there recently just to have a look and get some orientations of them. And they all match up basically.
So that's what Hugh's going to be talking about at the conference. He didn't tell us, he didn't give us any specifics, which otherwise then you don't need to go to the conference and hear him say it. But what do you guys think about that concept of super solstice alignments, like humans or possibly related cousins, setting up these massive solar alignments?
Well, Josh was kind of talking about that earlier, about the a lot of the alignments of the monuments and things in Mexico, very fleeting, but if you're there on the right day, you can see those alignments, which is pretty cool. They're all like some type of observatory or calendar to tell them when to do certain things.
Yeah, and they probably served a multifunction. I've said this for a long time, but most of these structures are multifunctional. One is like a calendar, one is probably ritualistic, all that's, it's all that stuff together. But in this context of a super solstice alignment, we're talking 10,500 BC for Karahan Tepe. He's talking 40,000. Like, can you imagine 40,000 years ago, like that happening? Like I'm able to like open my mind to that, but I'm not so sure. I'll have to wait to see what he says. I'm excited.
Yeah, and alignment is crazy. I know there's these caves, history with Kaylee. She was also on Matt Bill Limitless, and she speaks of these stalagmite stone circles. I can't remember where they are from right now, but they're like 50,000 years old. They know around there, and the modern humans, is it 50? I think it's 50. They say it's Neanderthals because modern humans hadn't made it there yet, apparently. So to think that, like, our human cousins, I guess you could call them, had like this ritualistic aspect to them. And for a long time, people thought they were like dumb, I guess. They thought they were less intelligent. But yeah, now we think they might have even had language, and we see
art.
Stuff like this, these stones, art, these stone circles. That's so it's almost like maybe we, like, who knows how far these things go back that are instilled in humans? Like, is it ideas that are shared between these other ancestors and us, or is it just something that's like inherent that makes people, do stuff like this, come do stone circles, make similar structures, have the same ideas about the creation, even that the world was created? Is crazy that everybody comes to that conclusion. So I always think, is it more like, is it passing down things, or is it just something that's like inherent in humans that they're gonna come up with these same ideas no matter where they are?
And I think it's a combination of both. Like, I just don't think it's one thing, like, and I'm gonna just show you a quick tweet I put out the other day. I say, what do you all think? Is our established history of human intelligence way off? Who buys the 50,000-year-old cave painting hypothesis? It seems rather obvious it would be far more complicated and fragmented than that. Also, I'm not ruling out neighboring hominid species as intelligent either. We just don't know. And that's okay. And that was for a clip I posted of our Michael Button interview. But I found it, come to find out, shout out Rebirth of the Word, our friend Tyrone. He sourced me with some stuff in Africa that's like 170 to 100,000 years old, cave art and stuff like that. And I just think we need to just let go of this. Like, it has to be one thing or the other. There's so much time, so much distance, so much, like, to act like we have all the answers. I think I don't know what you guys think, but
yeah, I feel like we just need to start giving ourselves enough credit.
Yeah,
like we really don't give ourselves enough credit. It's just like all of a sudden 10,000 years ago we started agriculture,
building stuff.
Yeah, and then we became civilized. But I think that we have a really long history on this planet. And we just have to start giving ourselves credit for that,
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Giving ourselves credit for that. That's a good way to put that, And and it's okay to be wrong. That's the most fun thing about all this, is then you get to learn new shit, right? That's the best part about being wrong, right? Right? I mean, why is that so bad? I always say this guy's name wrong, but he says the ritual Neanderthal rings 300 yards down the Bernakill Cave. I'd never heard of that spot. You guys?
I think he's naming the spot that I was referencing in that from that podcast with History with Kaylee. Yeah, got it. I think I can't remember though. So,
and we also have to remember too that the caves are really good at preserving material. So just because we find these things in caves doesn't mean that we weren't doing other things elsewhere. I have a feeling we're going to find a tremendous amount of our own history on the bottom of the ocean, 400 feet lower than our current shoreline, because, that's where the sea levels were during the peak of the ice age, and that's where any civilizations would be. And that's right now we can't even scuba dive like deeper than 100 feet. So there's so much history still down there that we haven't even started looking for.
Yeah,
water does preserve well. I also made a video. It's the oldest skeleton human remains found in the Americas, and it was in the Yucatan, so somewhere around there in a cenote. Yeah, in a cenote. But when this body had entered, whether she was placed there or she died in there. I think they think she was placed in there. It was, the sea levels were a lot lower. It was during the ice age, so when she went in, it was nice and dry, and over time filled up, and now scuba divers go in there and they find human remains and offerings, things like that. And this is 13. She was 13,000. It's a radiocarbon date, so they're always give or take a certain amount of years, but it was like 13,700 years old.
Wow.
And yeah, it kind of shows this. So the Maya, the Maya come a lot later. They're I think, what is it? Well, if we go based on their calendar, what they say, their calendar begins at like 3100 BC, something like that. I think evidence we have for them is maybe damn, I'm not sure, like 2000 BC, something like that. So like 4,000 years ago. That's when we can recognize the Maya as like a distinct culture, I guess. But 13,000 years ago, people in these same areas are seeing these cenotes as what the Maya saw them as. The Maya saw them as what they call Xibalba, which is the underworld, the Maya underworld. And it's in their myths. It's in the Popol Vuh, which is one of their, creation myths, basically. And these two hero twins have to go down there to... They just describe it, it's really crazy. It's Maya underworld. It's where the like deities dwell and stuff, deities of the underworld. And it just kind of shows that even back then, 13,000 years ago, the fact that these people are getting buried in these caves could like give us a glimpse into what they might have believed, that it was also this sort of underworld. And how far can that go back? That's the oldest body we have in the Americas, so we don't know how long people have been there. We know people have been in New Mexico 23,000 years ago, but it's just crazy, like how far back some of these like ritualistic aspects that humans have go back. And it could be beyond our own species, like Dave was saying. It could be our hominin cousins, other hominin species.
I haven't ruled that out because it was straight up Lord of the Rings up in here 100,000 years ago. So I mean,
yeah, they were here a lot longer than us, so
I just mean when I say
they don't
Lord
know
of the
anything
Rings,
either.
Yeah, I just mean that like they're existing in the same areas, competing for resources, interbreeding. We're multiple, multiple different types of hominids. So, and we haven't found all that stuff. And so Chris said something really important that I wanted to highlight, which is that what we do find is the stuff that like we're lucky enough that gets preserved well, right? Most of the shit's going to be underwater, or it's going to be like under several layers of city that we built on top of, right? We see stuff like that in Rome, and we see that everywhere, right? He's on top of cities, right? And so oftentimes, like I always reference the Varna culture in Bulgaria, because they literally found like this whole civilization under a city in Bulgaria that had, really advanced metallurgy and stuff like that 4,500 years ago, which is like a couple thousand years before anyone else in that area had it, supposedly. So it just tells me that it's just such a fragmented timeline, and we just need to keep adding to it and not pretending we know everything.
Right.
Oh yeah, Urfa as well. Shanli Urfa in Turkey. That's like the little statue that's on the wall of the guy.
Urfa man, yeah.
Holding his stuff, right? Oh, Urfa man, and then there's that other one that's like he's still in the wall, but he's holding his private area down there. That too, it was like found in somebody's backyard, and unfortunately they had to relocate the family because they declared it a historical site or whatever. But so that's where they found Urfa man, and Urfa man is I think like 9,000 years old, and then they found I can't remember how old this is, but it's up there too, like in the 10K range old. And this people didn't even know that they're literally living on top of one of the probably the oldest cities in the world that we know of right now.
And speaking of living on top of old shit, we've got a published author on our show, Mr. Chris Cottrell. And if you really want to see this whole thing, we've talked to Chris. Sorry, I messed that up. We have an interview coming out in a few weeks, talking about this book and Chris's life and how he got into this stuff. But Chris, did you this came out 2 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks?
Yeah. I mean, I literally got my first hands on my hands on a copy just a couple days ago, but it's been out for about 2 weeks. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the reason why I said speaking of living on top of old shit is that if it's my understanding that like these things are up and down the coast and they're old as dirt and obviously and we drive through them, we live around them, we live near them, and we don't even know they're there.
Yeah. If you live in the eastern coastal plain, you go through these things all the time, and most people have no clue.
Yeah. And so, guys, this is going to be our book of the month for December. So we're going to do a whole promo for this for December, but I
just in time for Christmas. Nice.
Just in time for Christmas and just in time for the release of your episode. But I just wanted to show that quick because if you want to get ahead of the game, go get your copy.
Also, congratulations on getting published in the Journal of Environmental and Earth Sciences with Antonio Zamora on your new paper.
Yep. It's been a busy couple months, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm ready to kind of chill out for a little bit.
Yeah, and you'll hear all about how that him working with Antonio and all that stuff, and on the paper and stuff in our interview. But you get some rest, Chris. It's almost Thanksgiving. It's time to chill out. Are you? I know I just told you to get rest, but are you going to come to Quest for Civilization conference?
See. Part of the problems with me being a school teacher is that I have to work.
Dang it.
So I do have a hard time like getting in a lot of these like in the middle of the school year trips. Summertime, Cosmic Summit, I'll be there. You know, but the some of these things that happen in November, it's really hard for me to travel too. And a lot of these tours are all happening, during months where we are in school. And that's why they're able to, get good deals on or good rates on travels because it's, during the school year. So a lot of families are at home, but I'm stuck. So
well, we'll keep you posted on it.
I'll be following. Yes. Yeah.
Very cool. I'm gonna play a little video I made. This is just me experimenting with this kind of stuff. So I apologize. But hold on, let me find it. There it is. I just made a little a video about the ancient sites in Arizona because that's where the conference is gonna be. And Arizona is like full of ancient sites. I mean, you could literally just walk out in the desert and find stuff like arrowheads and
petroglyphs everywhere. Yeah.
And so go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You go.
Well, I was going to say, I have a feeling that we're going to start seeing a lot more content focused on North America because it's kind of neglected. We focus on, the big pyramids and going to Egypt.
Exactly.
But North America has, just a fantastic history, and I think we'll start seeing more of that in content creation.
Yeah, well, I think I just remember growing up in school, in the 80s and 90s, and basically learning that it's the new world, and like Native Americans were not doing anything cool until we showed up, and it's like that's so ridiculous just to even say. But let me just go ahead and play. This is a 2-minute video, just promoting the conference. So let's check it out. Where'd it go? There it is.
The Arizona desert has always called to truth seekers. The ancient past is almost visible. Have you ever felt a whisper from the past while standing in a truly ancient place? Arizona is filled with these beautiful and ancient spirits, echoes of civilizations that thrived here long before our time. Imagine walking through the monumental Wupatki Pueblo or the intimate Wukoki Pueblo. Picture yourself gazing up at the incredible cliff dwellings of Betatakin and Quetzal. These aren't just ruins. Their stories carved in stone. From the ancient pathways of Canyon de Chelly to the mysterious Great House at Casa Grande and the hilltop fortress of the Sears Cay ruins, each site tells a unique tale. Think about the petroglyphs at Puerco Pueblo in the petrified forest, or the ingenious cliff homes of Walnut Canyon and Tuzigut. Stand at the edge of Montezuma Well and look down at the dwellings clinging to its sides, then marvel at the 5-story wonder that is Montezuma Castle. These places connect us to a deep, shared human history. If you, like me, are fascinated by these mysteries and feel a pull towards understanding our ancient past, then I have something truly special for you. It's one thing to see these places, but it's another to connect with people who see the world the same way you do, people who are also searching for truth. This is your chance to step into a live episode of your favorite podcast. I'm talking about the Quest for Ancient Civilizations conference in Scottsdale, Arizona, from December 5th to the 7th. Imagine being in the same room, sharing ideas with legends like Randall Carlson, Hugh Newman, David Childress, Billy Carson, William Henry, and so many more. This isn't just an event. It's a gathering of a tribe, a place to find your people, to have those deep conversations you can't have anywhere else, and to feel that incredible energy of shared discovery. This amazing event is brought to you by Michael Collins, also known as the Wandering Wolf, and Robert Dakota of Worldviews Media. They've created a space for us to come together and explore these profound questions. If you're ready to connect with like-minded souls and dive deeper into the mysteries of our past,
get your tickets today at worldviewsmedia.com. Subscribe to my...
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it looks like fun.
I love how you say that. It's like stepping into an episode of your favorite podcast. Like,
that's a Mike quote. I'm sorry I didn't. That you can. That I can't steal credit. I can't steal credit for that.
You did a great job.
I just told my friends that last night. They asked me, like, oh, what's it like going when you won tickets and stuff. I always bring up Cosmic Summit. Well, they always ask me, like, oh, I like your history stuff, and they have some questions. And yeah, I told them that it's like stepping into your favorite podcast episode. Like, it's crazy. It's just everybody in the same room. And yeah, they're just like normal people. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's the coolest part. Like, is that everyone is just normal people. Randall Carlson's a normal guy. He just loves this shit, And so when you go to events like that, whether it's Cosmic Summit or anything, you end up with sorry about that. You end up with meeting new people. It's like and Josh said this, Mike and I said that everyone says this because I love all the people in my life, okay? But when I try to talk to them about this stuff, I'm just over and right? I'm sure everyone can relate, but that's why these conferences are important. I pulled up this because this is their website. I just want to show the lineup quick. I mean, this is a pretty ballin' lineup. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Button, that's gonna be another cool one. He's I think this is his first event, right? That he's like his first event. He said, I think on the episode he was on last time with you guys, he said it's gonna be weird being somewhere where people actually know who I am,
Well, it was weird. Like 1 or 2 people knew who Mike and I was at Cosmic Summit. So that I was like, wow, weird. So yeah, I can imagine because Michael Button literally blew up. And he deserves it because what he's doing is he's just asking the question that you haven't been allowed to ask for a long time, which is like, hey, what if human intelligence is older than we thought? And so he's one of the ones I'm looking forward to seeing the most. Yeah. I've seen Randall a bunch of times, so no offense to Randall, but I've seen him a bunch. I'm looking forward to him and Hugh, and as well as Will Brown because I haven't seen him. Mike, what are you looking forward to? You got any headliners on here you're trying to see?
It's going to be really cool to see William Henry and Dan Richards again, as well as David Hatcher Childress. Since I haven't seen William or David in a live setting either before, it'll be also fun to hang out with Dan. So looking forward to everything.
Is this a one-stage event, like everyone's sharing the same stage? Yep. That's awesome. Good. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. I kind of like how Cosmic Summit does it, but at the same time, there was a few I missed at Cosmic Summit.
I always feel like I'm going to miss something. Yeah.
I always miss somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, this guy's get your tickets. It's in 3 weeks, I think. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going too. I already got my hotel room. I got it all set up.
Nice.
I'm staying on site actually, so it's gonna be cool. Are you guys staying on site, Mike and Dave? Or I think you said you had an Airbnb, right, or something?
Yes.
We're staying on site. We're doing it. I'm part of Breaking Ancient News, which is another show with Cody of East End Outpost and Megalithic Mysteries, and we're actually doing the after party. We were initially going to have a Airbnb, and Aaron was going to bring his telescope. This is the best transition ever because we're about to talk about 3i Atlas, but Aaron was going to bring his telescope and we were going to look at 3i Atlas and have like a house party. But apparently the city of Scottsdale doesn't like that. So the Airbnbs and VRBOs and stuff. They will not and we wanted to be upfront about it. We're having 20 or 30 people over, yada yada yada. What's the cleaning fee, that kind of thing, and we couldn't find any takers. But we did find a venue that hired a band for us, and they're going to be playing Walk Like an Egyptian and Rocket Man and stuff like that. We've created themed drinks, so that they're making themed drinks for everyone. Yeah, I believe that's going to be Sunday night or Monday night. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to ask Aaron. But it's going to be fun because
I'm super jealous now.
Hey, it's December 5th to 7th. When does school end?
Not until December 20th. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make sure to call you when we're all half in the bag.
Yeah, I'll be expecting that call. Yeah.
I'm gonna be in school too. I just have to finish homework a little early that week, and I think I can make it work.
Yeah.
Cool. And you're driving, right? Are you gonna drive?
Yeah, I'm driving. I was gonna say I'm driving. So wherever this venue's at, man, if you guys need a ride, you can go to the venue.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. So there's something that I think also crosses over into these world of kind of spirituality, UAP stuff, ancient history, lost ancient history and stuff. And it's what happens above our heads and in our solar system and in our galaxy. And I've always been drawn to this type of stuff. And so this is this whole 3-eye atlas thing is like Christmas for me. But I wanted to ask you guys, what have you guys heard about it, looked into it? Have you looked into 3-eye atlas at all? The new interstellar comet, third of its kind, that's entering our solar system. Chris, have you heard about this?
Yeah, I have, and I've been trying to avoid a lot of the hoopla that's coming around with it.
Yes.
As being a science teacher and educator, I'm trying to avoid some of the fringe that's popping up around this. I will comment on the makeup of this comet. Nickel is not rare. It's our own planet is full of nickel, but it's all in the core, which makes me think that this might be the remnants of some kind of the core of a planet or something like that. That's made its trajectory towards us. But I'm definitely following it. But I've also I think we've all been around the block a few times, and I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. Let's put it that way.
Correct. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid either, but I it is interesting to read, and I'm always been updating people on what's actually happening, and also letting. I want to talk about discernment when we're talking about what's good information and what's not, what could potentially be propaganda and what's not, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to show two just short clips from two different reports on 3-eye atlas, and then we'll talk about the difference. Okay.
Sure.
Let's see here. No, that's not it. There we go. All right. So this is a case, Mentale. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, but this new show, this new Newsmax channel. This is where K works. This is where I go for all my propaganda and psyops. And so we're gonna listen to the man himself, Avi Loeb, talk about this. And let's just look at this. Scientists receive interesting signal from 3-eye atlas, right? That's clickbait like nobody's business. Okay.
Yeah, so sounds like it's broadcasting a message or something, right?
Yeah, correct. And so I lost it. Yeah, that they're making it sound like it's broadcasting a message to us. We received an interesting signal from 3-eye atlas.
But joining us once again to try and answer that question is Harvard astrophysicist Dr. Avi Loeb. Dr. Loeb, great to have you back. Does this signal change anything for you? Did Halley's Comet emit a radio signal?
Well, thanks for having me. The frequency at which the signal was detected corresponds to a certain molecule of oxygen and hydrogen. So the claim is that it could be natural, but obviously what is most interesting is whether there is transmission that cannot be explained by a natural source. And I'm waiting for those results. I encourage radio observers to look at this object, and they're doing it right now. So that's why it's very exciting. The other thing that happened is the object moved away from the sun by more than 30 degrees by now. Right. So observatories around the world are looking at it. And guess what? It still is one object. It didn't break up. And moreover, there is a glow extending towards the sun again, anti-tail, opposite to what you expect for comets, where the tail is being pushed away from the sun by the solar radiation pressure and the solar wind. Here we see it going towards the sun.
Right. Okay.
So I'm not going to let that guy ask his clickbaity question again, because that's exactly what he's going to do. Hold on. How do I get us back, Mike? Help me. Oh, there we go. So I'm not gonna do that. But what I am gonna say is, Avi Loeb, all he's saying is, let's just for fun, let's pretend this might be an it may be technology. He's not saying that it's technology. Nothing about it has presented as technology yet at all. It is weird though that a few days ago, what he was talking about 5 days ago, you're getting all these reports that it had broken up or it had 7 jets shooting off of it and stuff. And then all of a sudden now, when it came back around, we were able to get a good look at it. They're saying that it's one object and nothing broke up. But I just think they're just, I'm sorry, but we just don't have enough information to make any claims like this at all, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But let's listen to this other guy, because I think this is a better report than that. Okay. And let's check it out. Share this instead. I like this guy's channel, Josh Sullivan Space. Check it out.
Possibly the wildest images of 3I Atlas yet, with jets of material stretching millions of kilometers into space. And in this video, we'll explore Avi Loeb's analysis of these images and the massive problem with the math here, because this object appears to be losing way more material than it should physically be able to lose. So the jets pointing toward the sun are stretching about 1 million kilometers into space, and the jets pointing away from the sun are stretching almost 3 million kilometers. The distance from Earth to the moon is about 400,000 kilometers. These jets are stretching 7 times farther than that distance. What makes this even more incredible is that back in July, the Hubble Space Telescope captured this object and saw a small glowing cloud around it. These new jets, captured on November 9th, are 3,000 times bigger than what Hubble observed. 3,000 times bigger in just a few months is absolutely insane. Now, as you probably know, normal comets usually have one main tail that points away from the sun. That happens because of something called the solar wind. This solar wind acts like a giant leaf blower, pushing all the gas and dust from a comet backward at over 800,000 miles per hour. So seeing jets that point toward the sun and actually push against that wind is really unusual. For these jets to push against the solar wind and stay together for 1 million kilometers, they must be incredibly dense and powerful. Now, anti-tails are rare, but not impossible with natural comets. Back in 1992, astronomers discovered a comet called Shoemaker-Levy 9 that had passed too close to Jupiter. The planet's gravity ripped it into 21 separate pieces. When those fragments hit Jupiter in July 1994, each one created explosions visible from Earth. The impact scars were bigger than our entire planet and stayed visible for months. Another one is Comet Holmes, which in 2007 suddenly brightened and created a huge expanding cloud. Both of those were natural comets experiencing fragmentation. That is probably what we are seeing with 3I Atlas right now. A comet breaking into many fragments, with each fragment creating its own jet of gas and dust.
I'm going to stop it there. Because me, I don't know about you guys, but that was much better than what you get on like a mainstream channel. But even though Avi is literally saying, because like that it's not necessarily, we're just having fun and like, were you taking this as an opportunity, right? This thing is weird because we've only found 3 of them, and all 3 of them, all 3 interstellar objects, have been totally different, way different than each other. So we really don't have a frame of reference for this.
Well, and our frame of reference are periodic comets anyways. right? Like Halley's Comet, it comes by every 74 years or something.
Yeah.
And so it has been outgassing, for hundreds of thousands or however long it's been in orbit around the sun. We know that this one's not from our solar system. We don't know if it came from another solar system. This could be its first time outgassing, right? So this thing is coming into our solar system. It's the first time it's interacting with a sun, right? A star. And that's probably why it's acting so strange. It's just
strange.
Right. This is different because it's coming from somewhere else.
Yeah. There's one thing that I want to show you guys that is like the chances of this is like extremely, extremely low. If you think about our solar system existing on a plane, and angled in any direction one of these things could come in, this comet is actually almost perfectly within our plane, our solar system's plane. I'm going to show it to you guys now because I'm directly from NASA's website, eyes on the solar system. But this is weird. This is the one thing that to me makes me go, because look at this bad boy. And think about, this could come from any direction at all, 360 degrees, like this. But I'm going to basically show it, coming through the solar system so if you can see it, I just made it go really fast, but you see how, like, that's wild. And so some people took a look at that, and I'm going to rewind it a little bit. Some people took a look at that and said, well, that has to be an intelligent move. Well, does it, Chris? Does that have to be an intelligent move?
Which move are you talking about, though? Are you talking about that little curve?
What I'm talking about is just how perfectly aligned with our solar system this thing is, right? In its trajectory. No other comet has ever come through our solar system on that trajectory. They've all like come in like hot, like from above or below, and then hooked into this the sun, and then totally changed directions. This one's like coming in hot, fast, and in basically a straight line. You can see, and it's on this plane where it could be coming from any other direction. So some people are saying that it's basically approaching us from like so it can see us. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Hey, I'm not going to say it's not.
Right. And so, but it's just interesting that nowadays we can go ahead and check that out. I'm going to show another one of it just kind of approaching its closest approach to Mars, which was really interesting to see as well.
I saw something saying that sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go for it.
I heard something that it could be an object that's even older than our solar system. I found that really interesting.
I think it probably is. I mean, so hold on, whoa, slow that down.
And this thing is huge, right? It's like
it's massive. If you heard of Oumuamua, that was like 800 meters long. This thing is like kilometers long, dozens of kilometers long. But this is it passing close to Mars. It got really close to Mars, and a lot of people were thinking if it was an intelligent species, Mars would be a good place to check out and stuff like that. But I'm not buying any of that. But that's pretty damn close to Mars's orbit. And then the last thing I'm going to show is just this thing from close up, and it doesn't actually look exactly like this.
Do you remember when this is supposed to pass by?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you in a second. So this object, 3I Atlas, has already made its close pass by to the sun as well as Mars. And I think its closest flyby to Earth is like in 2026 or something like that, to be honest. But so it's not for a while, but I just wanted to show this.
Which one is this one?
This is the same one. It's just showing it from the perspective of the comet 3I Atlas.
Get that Eulerian Lagrangian type contrast in our viewpoints.
Yeah, and so I just think this thing's cool, and I don't think it's aliens. But what's exciting is you're going to be able to. You could right now, if you had a telescope, $1,000-ish telescope, go look at it right now, and it's literally from a different galaxy, which makes the composite. What I found interesting: CO2 and nickel are super common, and that's what this thing's supposedly outgassing. I've never heard that hypothesis before, Chris, about it possibly being a former planet core.
Well, that's where most of our nickel is. It's in the core.
Yeah. But this thing, who knows how long it's been traveling in frozen vacuum of space. So it may be the first time it's outgassing. So we don't. There's so much, so many variables to put in play, and we don't know anything. That you can't make any really good determinations about this.
What's concerning is as it approaches the sun, the gravity from the sun is going to start to break it apart. And so even if this is like a one-time deal coming that close to the sun and it breaking apart, there could be remnants of its leftovers in space within our orbits, and that is concerning.
Yeah, so I'm glad you said that, and it supposedly some people were reporting it did break up. Then I'm hearing that it didn't. It definitely did, because it outgassed literally a shitload of stuff as it passed by the sun. Supposedly the sun. Yeah, they don't really know. Supposedly heat from the sun, and so that's where the quote 7 jets came up. People were saying it broke into 12 pieces at one point. Who knows? But now the clearest pictures of it now are it's just one object still. So yeah. But the reason why this relates to topics that we talk about is because CarolinaBays, man, we get hit by shit all the time. And so I'm with Avi Loeb as far as we should definitely pay attention to this and treat it as a practice run. But I don't like all the fear mongering,
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be nice to mine all that nickel.
Yeah.
Jump on board and ride this one out for a little while.
There's some billionaires working on that right now.
Comet mining.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Well,
or what is it? Asteroid, right? Asteroid mining. It's the same thing.
People do it. People don't do it. There's futurists who predict technology and stuff on how to do it, and people have plans of doing that in the future. So yeah, I mean that's one of the most interesting parts about it. Is it could be if you could plant your flag into that comet, then you got gajillion dollars worth of nickel. I just always like giving little updates on that. And I was playing around with the eyes on the solar system thing for way too long today. So you guys just got the short version.
It was a good recap. Like I said, I've been trying to avoid watching stuff about it because I don't want to be biased. So
yeah. Same. But this is in no danger to us guys. It's just really interesting. And so if you have a telescope, go point it at it. But yeah, that's all I got for today on 3i Atlas. Mike, what do you got, buddy?
What is the do you remember the date? Sorry.
So what was the date? Sorry, no, go ahead. What's up?
Oh yeah, closest to Earth. When will it be closest to Earth?
I'm gonna grok it, but it's in 2026. While Mike pulls up.
Oh, you did mention that. Sorry, I thought you.
No, let's tell you the exact date. Let me grok it.
Yep. I just wanted to do a quick recap of some things that I saw on YouTube lately. Shout out to Luke Caverns and Johanna James. They announced their Raiders of the Past Egypt tour for next year, and it's actually already sold out. So this is not but a shout out. All four of us wish we could go on this tour, but
insane,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome that they're doing it. Next shout out I wanted to give. Oops, let's hit share next.
I love Johanna James. She's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Have you seen her other stuff? She does other hilarious stuff on Instagram and Facebook. It's not just ancient history. She does these hilarious little videos with herself where she plays 3 or 4 different roles at the same. Chris, you're laughing. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
She's so funny, man. I love her.
Was it Funny Old World or that was her? She started
Funny
off
Old
doing
World
like that. Yeah, and then she went on a trip to Egypt and was like, man, this stuff is really cool. I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
The next shout out I wanted to give was to our friend Ricardo over at the Institute for Natural Philosophy, who has an excellent new show with Shaman 711, the Shaman and the Philosopher. And this is a multi shout out because just yesterday they dropped a new episode with our good friend of the channel, Brian Corey Dobbs. Of course,
BCD.
Brian's exciting Mars disclosure documentary, Blue Planet Red, is out now on Amazon, so you should check it out. And then later on, after the episode, we were chit-chatting on Twitter, and Mr. Jean Ward came up. Jean Ward is from South Africa, and he has spent so much time looking through the NASA images and footage from Mars and simply reporting all the anomalies that he's found. Excellent channel. And we got an episode with him. We hope to see him on other shows as well soon. So shout out to Jean Ward and Brian Dobbs and Ricardo.
Yeah, and they had this whole movement going on they call the Mars Disclosure Community, and essentially what that means is that they're not making any necessarily, maybe to some people, outlandish claims about Mars that nobody else has ever made before, but what they're saying is that we're not being told the truth about Mars, and they show all these anomalies, and some of them are weird, man. I tend to like not believe that like there's a face on Mars or pyramids and stuff like that, just because I'm, I need to see it. But like then you sit down with Jean Ward, and he's literally showing you, like, he spends hours combing through this stuff, and like he shows you some weird shit on Mars that you're like, wait a second, So Chris, what do you think? Ancient civilization on Mars, yes or no?
I don't know about civilization, but I'm expecting any day now. And I think I heard something recently that biological DNA has been found. I'm not sure, but if we can find some bacteria.
Some evidence of some microbes, right? Something like that,
right?
On some rocks, yeah.
It's definitely a step in the right direction for sure. And for now, it's just fun to hear, to see all these weird things on the face of Mars and go, oh,
yeah. The one big right angle. I think that one's most interesting. The face is too, but that one like huge. It looks like a giant square with I think it doesn't have 4 right angles, but yeah.
Because I swear he showed me a bus on Mars. I was very confused after that.
And he drops new videos all the time. There's, you can see several videos.
1 day, 4 days, 6 days. Yeah.
Geometric patterns, geometric figures.
And he's not making any wild claims about any of this stuff. He's simply just showing it to you.
That's right. The last shout out I wanted to give was to our other friends, David Stig Hansen, and Tyrone.
Shout out Stig. Where's Stig's hat?
Yeah.
They were so when I got home from work last night, they were on the stream. I went in for like 30 seconds. I lurked in there, and I was gonna hop in the chat, but I was really too tired to talk about anything, so I didn't stay in there. But they were having a good show last night, so y'all could check it out. They've got really cool stuff, and that was about all I had for shout outs. So
nice. So, guys, it was very fun to bring you guys back together for this reunion because as soon as I mentioned Josh to Chris was like, oh, I love that guy. And as soon as I met Josh, he's like, oh, I love that guy. So we're like, why don't we just bring them both on at the same time? They both got going on anyway. I also just wanted to mention there's a lot of stuff going on in the multiverse. Mike and I are going to be doing the Friday night portion of the live stream show at the conference. So they're going to try to do this thing where when you buy the live stream, you're not left hanging between speakers. You'll go to Mike and I on Friday night, and then Saturday and Sunday you'll go to the Forbidden Frontier crew from Nerdrotic, including Gary and Quarter Black Garrett, and I believe X-Rank Girl. I don't think the other guy is going. I can't remember his name right now. But either way, that'll be cool.
Shout out to the Nerdrotic crew, and we appreciate you bringing us on as your second stringers. We appreciate that.
We do very much, and it's just going to be a fun opportunity. I thought we were going to be doing it all weekend with them, and I'm actually glad we're not, because now we get to do it on Friday night, and then we're off the hook.
We're up for anything.
Yeah. But it's going to be fun. Also coming up, we've got an interview with this dude, Michael Arbuthnot. He dived on the Titanic with James Cameron. He's a star of the Secret Worlds show on the Travel Channel and PBS. Also star of Found on the History Channel, America's Lost Vikings on the Science Channel. He's a master of submerged prehistoric sites, shipwrecks, and Caribbean archaeology. And he's a legit guy, and he went everywhere with us. He indulged us, and we really appreciated it. So that's coming out in a few weeks. And this is his podcast that he just started. Thanks for pulling that up, Mike. Yep. He calls it underground because, you know, in his line of work, you kind of got to have these conversations underground. And what he means by that is, like, you know, it's the questions that the archaeologists and the anthropologists ask themselves after the conference, when they're all sitting around drinking. They're like, oh yeah, so you really think that Göbekli Tepe is way older, right? Yeah. And so that's the idea of this show. And I like it because it bridges the gap, right, Chris?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Archaeology underground. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and I'll also add, you know, every archaeologist that I've ever met in person are some of the most fascinating people.
Yes.
Yeah, they always have the best stories. Almost every single one I've ever met knows how to play an instrument, and they have these huge jam out sessions after a dig. It's phenomenal. It's outstanding. Yeah.
I didn't know that, the music part. That kind of makes sense though, for in my head. Yeah. So Michael Arbuthnot joined the show, and that'll be coming out in a few weeks. We also featured Crispin Thibodeau of the Stone Nub language. He has a very interesting theory of the stone nubs being found across all the world being a language, and he went deep on it with me. We got Joanne Ballard from the Comet Research Group coming up. We also have a podcaster and extreme endurance athlete, Daniel Hodge. This guy went from basically rock bottom, tried to kill himself, to running 10 marathons in 10 days. And I love shit like that. Shit like that. So bring it on, Daniel. So strap in, because we got some stuff coming up, right, Mike?
It was a lot of fun talking with Joanne Ballard. She's a seasoned scientist and has uncovered some of the most compelling evidence for the Young and Dryas impact hypothesis. So look forward to the show. I hope you all enjoy it.
Yep. And Mike tried to, I wasn't on that one. And I was like, Mike, ask her about 3i Atlas. And he did. And like a good scientist, she did not give him much.
She was not afraid to veer off in different directions. She was this summer at the Cosmic Summit. She was speaking on Atlantis on one of those days. Yeah. So she's a hoot. I like her.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that one too, because I actually have not seen it. So lots going on in all of our worlds. Where can everyone find you, Mr. Chris Cottrell?
Dabbler's Den on X, YouTube, or wherever you can find me.
Very cool, and possibly at Cosmic Summit next year.
I hope so. Yeah.
And Josh, where can everyone find you, my friend?
At Josh the Ancient, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, and I need to get my Facebook started up soon. I didn't even know that was a thing. I saw, a lot of the people that I watch, they have tons of followers on Facebook, so I need to get that up and running. And I'm gonna be at the Quest for Ancient Civilizations in Arizona, there with Mike and Dave. It's gonna be cool. I also have a buddy, Alex. I remember Alex. He's coming as well from.
Sorry, we're playing our little outro music. Yep. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see you again, Josh. It's always a pleasure to see you at the Quest for Ancient Civilization conference. Chris, we got to hang out because you kind of live close to us.
We should go check out some CarolinaBays.
I think we should in the summer when you're off work. How about that?
Well, I get intermittent breaks. You know, I got Christmas break and spring break, but yeah, summertime's the best time.
Sometimes the best time. All right.
Yep.
And let's say hi to the chat real quick. Thank you so much, Craig and Tammy and Rubate and everyone who joined us. We always really appreciate everyone's support here in the multiverse. Super grateful.
This was super fun. It's great to see everyone. Thanks for tuning in.